Oh, I think that was the worst performance of the season. Don't get me wrong, I thought Salford were really good. Obviously, everything that they've been going through, I thought Nicarima, we couldn't touch him. Felt like he was on a different planet from us really tonight. Every time he touched the ball, it looked like he was going to make a break. I thought he was sensational. Yeah, I thought Salford were really good as well. I think from them as a collective were really good, but I thought we were really flat. I've come in every single week, and every week I've felt like we could have won every single game we've been in this season. Every game. His performances have been really good. We've narrowly lost out to teams in the second half, but the performances on a whole has been good. I can't say that tonight. I could use the excuse that we had a short turnaround, Sunday to Thursday, but I don't think it was. I don't think we showed enough energy and enthusiasm in the first bit anyway, which is really, really disappointing because that's one thing we've held us out on this year, that even when the results haven't gone our way, we have outworked nearly every other side, and his enthusiasm has been immense. So, yeah, I think it's just an excuse, the short turnaround. I don't think it helped, but that wasn't the reason.
What do you put that first half in particular down to?
Yeah, I'm not sure really, because we obviously haven't trained this week. Obviously we played Sunday, so review, off, captain's run. Niall didn't even get a chance to train with us really, just pretty much threw him out there. But yeah, I think it was just whether it's a combination maybe of the narrow losses taking its toll after a while. I'm not sure. We're gonna dissect it and go through it over this weekend. The playing group are obviously distraught because, as I said previous, we've been really good in vast majority of games. I haven't come away with the spoils, but tonight I don't even think we're at the races.
Were you shocked at how far behind you were in that first half, especially for the fact that, as we mentioned this week, you've been half-time in every game so far. That's a part of your game that's really excelled this year so far.
Yeah, the starts have been really good. As like I said before, as enthusiasm, as where we've approached the games, we've probably not showed some game management, which has meant that we haven't won games, but everything else has been sensational from the lads. So I was just really disappointed. That's one thing that you would never want to see as from a Huddersfield Giants perspective, that we get out enthused, and I thought we got out enthused today.
Is this the most deflated you've felt after a game?
Yes, 100%. Look, every other game I've been probably more frustrated. Because every other game I haven't been deflated. I've been more, just frustrated in the fact that we should have won games. The whole game in particular, one we give away. We can run away from it. Wakefield last week. There's been numerous games where I've not been deflated. I've been more frustrated. Whereas this one is definitely deflated, and the players are feeling the same way as well.
I know you'll, as you said, analyse it over the next couple of days. But how do you now approach this next week on the back of a performance like that?
Oh look, I think we've got to make sure that it's about fine margins in sport. It's fine margins. We could be in a totally different position to where we are at the moment. We're not. If we'd done a few things different in games, so we've not got to get too despondent. It's very easy, obviously. I'm probably talking to myself here as well. I could really go, been very downbeat, but we've got to realise that we haven't been far away this year, and that was a way off performance from what we've set this year. We've got to stick together. We've got to be united. No finger pointing, actually, and come together as a team and work out. Because that's we're the only people that can get ourselves out of this.
I imagine it's difficult now, but are there any positives you can take? You've got the 2 tries. That's swift effort late on to tackle Atkin.
Oh look, I think we had, thought Leroy were amazing. 37-year-old. I a bit jinxed really if you're a spine player at the Giants at the moment. You get injured now. Didn't even know how he potentially broke his foot. So we had to put Leroy at half. So Leroy's 37-year-old half back now, and I still thought he did a really good job. I thought Swifty showed his attitude and effort to actually chop someone down later in the game when probably the game had gone, our school, they did really big minutes again. I could have gone through the team, but we didn't do it collectively. There were individuals in there that did really well, but collectively we didn't do that.
It's looking like a broken foot then for 9 levels, is it?
Yeah, crazy, but he's literally only done 20 minutes captain's run with us and one half of rugby at the Giants, and the physio and the doctor seem to think that it looks like could be a metatarsal that he's broke. Now I'm fingers crossed that that's not the case, and he hasn't done that, but yeah, he's not looking good at this moment in time, which is absolutely crazy. I think that he's not been with us more than 60 minutes.
I'm going to say it must be a killer for you, that, especially with the players that you've already got out, and he probably showed some good signs, I think, in that game.
Look, he's an immense player, is Niall. I've been a fan of Niall for many years, and I think he's been, he's shown his class at LKI. He's a top 4 side, a top 2 side, and been one of the best fullbacks in the league. And I thought he'd had some real experience to us, and he'd be brilliant for us. So to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. The fact that, look, we already have our controllers, Zach Wolford and Clooney on the sidelines for a long period of time still. So to bring him in, I thought, it'd be great for us. But unfortunately, all he's going to do is go and join them in the rehab group.
Just finally from me on that subject of injuries, I know we ask it every week, but is there anyone looking like the back next week?
Yeah, looks we're potentially going to have Gags will be over his head knock, so he'll be a welcome addition back. Burgess and Kingy potentially might be a little bit of a rush to get them back, but they could potentially be back. But that would be a little bit of a rush, maybe. So we're gonna have to see how all the lads pull up and make a bit of a judgment call on that.
How do you fix it, Robert? It's easy for everyone to say go sign other players, but it's not that easy, is it? I know you said you've got to stay together, but what is the big solution to everything?
Oh, it's not that easy, isn't it? It's a salary cap sport that we're in. So, and it's not as easy as just going out and trying to sign anybody you want. I still believe in the group of players we've got. What I need to do is I need to make sure they still believe in each other and still believe in what we've been doing, in what was working for us in the previous games. Just add a little bit of polish, a little bit of game management to those other games. I think would have been. I think our season looked totally different. But sport is about fine margins, and we haven't managed to come over that. So probably more than anything else about keeping confidence. It's a confidence thing now, because look at Hull. They were dead and buried in our game, but they end up getting interception going on. We missed the drop goal, they get it, and all of a sudden their season they've had a few now. But that's the way it goes. So keeping confidence in the group, in each other, and just try. When you are like this, it's just about you don't attack your way out of tough times. You defend your way out. I think that's one thing that we need to take. We need to make sure we defend our way out of this situation.
Is the scope to add more given the injuries you've got, or is it just a no-go because of cap?
I think we might be able to manipulate, but because of cap, we are where we are, and the players that we've got out, Zach and Clooney and Rushy and the other and Burge and George, we've got our fingers crossed that we can get them back as quickly as possible.